Hey everybody, Darren Cross here. Welcome to Business 134, Managing Diversity. The purpose of this video is to actually walk you through the course, walk you through some of the expectations so that you get started on the right foot and so that things go smoothly for you. So this course, we're going to take a look here. It's not really dramatically different from any other course. It's really kind of plain and simple. In fact, I think that the resources are really kind of simple here. These are your standard links that you'll find here, but let's dig into the module so that I can tell you what things are going to look like. So week to week, you're going to see the week that we're in, and you're going to have some resources. Usually, we have a very small textbook, so you guys are going to have the opportunity to really dig in and look at some stuff. But you're going to have resources, and I'm going to fortify the reading assignments with some videos and things and some other resources. Okay. So you'll see resources that you're going to dig through, and then you're going to have assignments. Now, if you click on the reading assignments, this doesn't link to the textbook. This just tells you what you're going to be reading. And I'll tell you right now, there's 9 chapters in this book. So we're going to actually go over, one chapter is going to cover 2 weeks. And sometimes we might do that chapter in 1 week, or we might do it over 2 weeks. It all depends upon how things are flowing. So you might have... you're going to see it listed as 1 chapter for 2 weeks, right? So it's like chapter 1 in week 1 and chapter 1 in week 2, but we may actually do all of the reading in week 1, and then you're doing some kind of other reading in week 2. But whatever it is, any reading assignments you'll see here, okay? And then any assignments that you have will be here. So I wanted to talk to you about the assignments and let you know what's really going to go on in this class. This is a diversity class, and diversity, my experience with teaching diversity type issues along the way, it's started to take on a different meaning as we're trying to figure out how to mesh ideas in the workplace. In the past 10 years, it's meant different things than it has previous to that. Diversity and inclusion and equity is this concept of just kind of taking the extra step to think about how we're doing things instead of just assuming everything is okay. Taking the extra step to kind of think about, are there some unspoken or some things that we haven't thought fully through that might be causing issues for people? And that's kind of the flavor that diversity has taken over the past several years. Needless to say, as a result of that, we're talking about some topics that are pretty sensitive and maybe triggering to some people. And so as a result of that, we're really going to just take our time and dig in. Now this, like I said, there's 9 chapters in this book. We're going to dig in and cover a chapter over 2 weeks. But your assignments are going to be basically one of 3 different types of assignments. You're either going to have a discussion, which we're going to have in every week, right? So every week you're going to have a discussion. We're going to have 16 discussions. I think there's 16 discussions. And the discussions are really the biggest part of your grade, okay? Well, not of your grade, but the biggest part of the experience and the enrichment of this class, right? So because this is the kind of topic that involves the meshing of ideas and making sure that people feel comfortable, we're actually just going to get in there and discuss things with people, right? So the most significant assignment that you're going to have in this class is going to be your discussion boards, and we're going to have them every single week, okay? And I want you to, I'll give you an example. I'll open this up so you can see what's going on here. What I want you to do is I want you to dig in. It's not opening. Hang on. I want you to dig in and really flesh out the discussion, because really, like, there's going to be weeks when the discussion is your only assignment. Okay. So you'll see here, there are going to be some prompts. So usually I'll talk about what we discovered, right? So we were introduced to the basic concept of the concepts in diversity. After reading the material, we're going to discuss your interpretations, right? So this is all, this isn't a quiz. I don't want you guys to address this like, what is the right answer? Some of these things, there's going to be an answer, right? But then I'm trying to dig into what's going on in your mind. So I want you to actually flesh out these ideas. The book says that this is the definition of diversity. Before now, what did diversity mean to you? So you're going to dig in your mind. What when you thought of diversity, what did you think? From your perspective, what are the implications? So when you think, oh, we're going to be talking about diversity, that means we're going to be doing this and this, or what did it mean in your workplace, or whatever that is. What I want you to do is be sure that you address each of these elements, and then I want you to actually go in and challenge you're going to respond to your classmate with some challenges, right? There are going to be different ideas. I want you guys to be respectful, but I want you to challenge some of these ideas, right? So I want you to respond to two of your classmates, and your responses will do the following. Number one, they will establish your understanding of your classmate's initial post. So the thing is, by virtue of your words, you're going to show that you actually understand your classmate's post, right? So you're going to say, wow, it's interesting that you said this. A good way to do it is to maybe quote what they said. It's interesting that you said this. I had the same experience as well, right? Or I haven't had an experience like that. But you're actually showing that you actually read their stuff and that you understand the context. Then you're going to maybe look at what they talked about and compare it to what you talked about, right? Or what your experience has been. And then you're going to dig in with some questions that actually engage them and solicit some kind of response, right? So you don't want to ask yes/no questions. You want to ask open-ended questions. What was your experience with? How do you think that might? If your deal is, do you think that? That's a yes or no question. Because do you think? Yes or no, I think. Okay? So I want you to actually challenge them and advance the discussion. So you're going to have that every week, okay? In addition to that, you are also going to have every other week, you're going to have a journal. A journal is intended just for you. So I'm going to ask you some questions to kind of figure out what you are thinking about this stuff, not to be shared with anybody else. So this is your opportunity to say things like, in that last discussion, I thought that was interesting and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, or I'm feeling this way, or I wish that we could do this. I'm going to have some prompts for you to think about. But the purpose of the journal is for you to actually dig in and think about how you feel, and not necessarily, it's not a right answer. I just want to know how you're feeling about stuff. So I'll have some prompts for you to address, and I really want you to flesh those out as well, because you're only going to have those every other week. And then you are going to have 4 written assignments along the way, right? So if we dig in here to the syllabus, you're going to have 4 written assignments along the way once we get to those specific things, right? So if we go down to these are your written assignments. You're actually going to talk about personal barriers. You'll see the prompts when we get to there. You're going to talk about social networking, preparing for the future, and then your final reflection paper. And I'll have specific responses or prompts for you to actually follow as you progress through all of this stuff. Another thing, you don't have to worry about this, because I'm also going to have a template for you to use, as well as an assignment video that tells you exactly what we're looking for in that paper. Now, what you'll notice here is, as we're looking at this, only week 1 is open. That's because I only want you to be worried about week 1. When week 2 happens, I'll open week 2 and we'll go through it like that. Why? Because I want you to dig deep and focus in on what we're doing for this week. Now, invariably, somebody's going to say, hey, I'd like to work ahead and figure out stuff because I'm going out of town or I'm camping or whatever. No, we're not working ahead. You can work afterwards. I'm not going to, if you're late with an assignment, I'm not going to penalize you anyway. You can work afterwards, but I'm not going to open up any module ahead of time. I want you to focus on what we're doing when we're doing it, okay? So this class is really going to be reading. You're going to do some video. You're going to watch some videos that help that kind of just add to what we're talking about. Your reading is going to be the textbook, as well as some articles or maybe some websites that I send you to. And then you're going to have discussion. Some weeks you're going to have a discussion and a journal. and some weeks you're going to have a discussion and a written assignment. But that's what this course is really. It's discussions, journals, and written assignments. You have 16 discussions, 8 journals, and 4 written assignments, okay? And I will give you plenty of guidance on all of those things. All you have to do is just work through the course, and you should be good to go, okay? So I hope that that makes sense to everybody. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me, okay? So good luck, everybody.